Hi guys, welcome to another tutorial. Today I am going to show you how to make a corset top, and as you can see, this is what we are trying to achieve. We're trying to achieve a corset top that has a yoke at the top, and you can use another type of fabric or you can use the same fabric as the diagram implies. And as you can see, the back also has a yoke at the back, and you can either use a zip or you can place a rope at the back of the corset. Now, the back of your yoke doesn't have to look like this. You can shape it to any style, any desired style you want. Now, previously on this channel, I have posted a video on how to make a corset top. Exactly this corset top that has no yoke at the top. But this particular tutorial is going to be a two-way kind of tutorial. You can either make it with yoke or you can either make it without yoke. Now let's get right into the tutorial. And now we will start with our basic bodice pattern. If you do not know how to draft a basic bodice pattern, I'll put the link below so you can go and see that. And this is my shoulder slant. This is my bust line. This is my bust point line. This is my under bust line. This is my waist, and this is my length. And I have also added my hemming allowance. What we're going to do now is take your bust pan, which is your nipple to nipple measurement, divided by 2. Now start placing it from your bust point to your hemming allowance line and just connect the lines. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start placing in our darts. Now, but before we do that, on your bust point line, you want to go downwards by 1 inch and also go upwards by 1 inch. This is just to eliminate tightness around the bust area. Now on your length line, you're going to go upwards by 2 inches. Now we are going to start placing our darts on our waist, 1 inch on both sides, on the under bust 1 inch on both sides. Now connect all your dart lines. Now from your bust line, you should determine how deep or how high you want your corset opening to be. For me, I am going to be using 2 inches, and I'll mark that 2 inches from my bust line upwards, right there. Now we're going to place that on each side of this line. I am placing 1/2 inch on both sides, and connect your dart lines. And now we're going to start adding our body measurements on this pattern, and I'm going to start with my bust line. I'll take my bust circumference divided by 4 and I'll place it right there. Now measure the dart you have on this part and you're going to put it back. If not, your outfit won't fit. Now place your sewing allowance. Now I am taking my under bust circumference divided by 4 and I'll place it right there. Replace your 2 inches dart and also add your sewing allowance. Now take your waist circumference and divided by 4. Remember to replace your dart, 2 inches dart, and also add your sewing allowance. Now on the length, place your length circumference divided by 4 and also add your sewing allowance. Now connect all your lines. Now on your bust point line, this is your bust point line, you're going to go upwards by 1 inch. Now go inwards by 1/2 inch. Now the next thing you're going to do is start connecting your corset shape. Okay. Now for this center front part, you can either give it this inwards look, this inward shape. I am using a pencil so I can show you how you can shape it up, or you can either give it this shape that you all know. Okay. Now the next thing you're going to do is come down to your under bust and connect this to your under bust line, and we have gotten the shape already. Now next thing you're going to do is this your armhole line, you're going to pull it down a bit to your bust point line like this. You see that? Now this is an example. You can see the cup comes from around the armhole part. Now that is what we are trying to achieve. That is why you have to pull it down to your bust point line. Now connect your curve to that line. As you can see, this is the easiest way you can go about this, guys. Now on this part, what you want to do is you're going to curve it up a little like this. Just make sure it has a rounded shape. Now you're going to connect this all the way to your armhole part, as you can see. Now next thing we're going to do is we're going to place our armhole curve. Now just find the midpoint of your armhole line. Go inwards by 1 inch as usual. Now just connect your armhole curve like this. Isn't this easy, guys? Like, isn't this easy? Now on my hemming line, I am placing 4 inches and connecting that curve because I want it to have a little curve at the bottom part. Now back to the upper part, we're going to be placing our neckline measurements. At this point, you can choose any neckline you want. For me, I am using 3.5 inches in width by 4 inches in length. Remember that you can use any kind of neckline of your choice. And now, as you can see, guys, we have a complete corset pattern right here. Now let's say you want to add cups to it, and I'm going to be adding cups just because I like bra cups. Now you can just connect a straight line like this all the way from here to here. As you can see, just connect a straight line like this. Or you can, maybe you want it to have a little bit of curves. What you can do is you can just use any measurement you want. From right here, just go downwards by 2 inches, and the center part is where the curve is. You can go up downwards by 2.5 inches at the center, and from here you can just go downwards by 1 inch and just connect it like this. This way you would have a curve around your bra cup. You can see that. Very easy, guys. But for this particular tutorial, I am just going to be using the straight line. As you can see, this is what my bra cup is going to look like this. So now we are done with this pattern, guys. Do not forget to label your pattern. If not, the whole thing is going to end up confusing you. It will, guys. Do not forget to add your labels. Now for number 1 and number 3, I am going to be taping it together. Remember that is where my dart was, where I cut out my dart. Now, because I am going to be cutting it in 1 piece instead of in 2 pieces. Now remember to place in your 1/2 inch allowance while cutting this on your fabric on this part right here, and also place your allowance on this part, okay, all the way to the bottom. And also place your 1/2 inch allowance all around so as to join this together. Place your 1/2 inch allowance on every part of this cutouts. Now also remember to place in your 1/2 inch allowance on this part so as to join it to the lower bodice. And now we're going to move to the back, and here is my basic back bodice pattern. Here is my zipper allowance 2 inches, and here is my shoulder slants, my bust, waist and length. And you're going to take your bust span, which is your nipple to nipple divided by 2, from your bust line all the way to the length. Now I would connect the lines. On your waistline, take ½ inch on both sides for your dart. On your bust line, do the same. Take ½ inch on both sides for your dart. Now connect the line. Now on your length, you're going to go upwards by 1 inch, and you're going to connect the dart line from your waist to that mark. And now we're going to start taking our body measurements, and I'll start with my bust line. I'll take my bust circumference divided by 4. Measure the dart you have right here and replace it here, else your outfit won't fit. Now take your sewing allowance. Place your waist circumference divided by 4, measure the dart you have here, replace it here, and take your sewing allowance. And on the length, take your hip circumference divided by 4 and your sewing allowance. Now connect your lines. Now at the bottom part, I am going to add a little bit of curve, just like I did for the front. I'm going to add 4 inches, and I'm just going to connect it like that. Now, just because I want the back to have a little bit of curve, from my bust line, I'm going to go downwards by 1 inch, and I'm going to connect it from right here all the way to right here. Okay? Now, the next thing you're going to do is, on this part, you're going to go inwards by ½ inch, because you want your corset to have a little bit of tightness around the back, and it has to be very curvy. Now you're going to connect your line like this. Now we are going to alter the zip part a bit. Just come to the edge of your pattern at this waist area and just go in by ½ inch and connect your line. Or what you can do is take your zipper allowance. Remember I said mine is 2 inches, and I'll just place it like this, and I am just going to connect that line downwards and also upwards. This is done so that the corset will have a better grip on your body. And now we're going to move to the neckline. The width of the neckline I am using is 3½ and 1 inch in length. You can use any neckline of your choice. You can decide to use this. Now we are going to move to the armhole. Find the midpoint of your armhole and just connect your armhole curve like this. So at the beginning of this tutorial, I showed you guys this is what I want the back of my yoke to look like, and I'm just going to go on and create that shape right now. This is going to look like a V kind of neckline at the back. Remember that you can give yours any kind of shape you want. You can even use a round neck, a square neck, whatever kind of shape you decide. Now, as you can see, our back pattern is done and complete, and I'm just going to go on and start cutting this pattern. And do not forget to cut out this curve at the back, this particular curve that I am cutting now. Now don't forget to add your ½ inch allowance on the necessary parts. You need ½ inch allowance on this side, on this side also. You need no seam allowance here because this is where the zip is. Add ½ inch here and ½ inch here. Now do not forget to add ½ inch allowance on this upper parts and also on the upper parts of, or the lower parts of your yoke. Now the ½ inch allowance I am talking about is When cutting your pattern on your fabric, you need to add the 1/2 inch allowance on your fabric so as to enable you to join your pieces together. If not, your outfit won't fit. Now stick around, guys. In another tutorial, I am going to be sewing this piece together to make a full and complete outfit. If you like this video, do give it a thumbs up, and I'll be seeing you in more tutorials. Bye.